Hey, hey, hey. Come on in, come on in, come on in. For the one person that's in here first, thank you for hitting that like button on your way in. I appreciate that. Boss lady, hey, how you doing? How you doing? Tanya, hey, how you doing? Lavelle, hey, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Good people, come on in, come on in. I'm not going to be on here that long. I know that folks got some TV shows that they want to watch tonight. So y'all come on in. Come on in. Woman of God, Tirana. Miss January, hey. Hey, hey, hey. God is in control. What is going on? Hey, hey, hey. If you guys don't mind hitting that like button on your way in the house, I would greatly appreciate it. How's everybody feeling? Let me know if you're feeling fine. Let me know if you're feeling well. Let me know if you're feeling awesome. What's going on? You close on your house today? Congratulations. God is in control. Now that's a blessing right there. Yes. Yes. That is a blessing. I got the keys, keys, keys. I got the keys, keys, keys. That's what's up. That's what's up. I know you're excited. So excited. Thank you, T. Rhonda. Thank you. Petite Pretty Green. Hey, hey, hey. How you doing? I see some dimes up in the building. How is everyone doing? So I'm going to go ahead and get this thing started because these people, man, listen. Thank you, Butterflyness. So, I told you guys on some previous lives and some previous videos that I have a little disease that I have been dealing with since that I know I've been dealing with since 2005, right? These people got me, boy, look at here. It take a lot to piss me off, so I ain't pissed off. But I got something to say. I got something to say just in case anybody else is dealing with this stuff and folks try to... So, and I got to move this mouse because I keep trying to use this mouse for this tablet, and that's just not going to work. Before I get started, everybody just throw some... Let's just do some hearts. Just do some hearts in the chat for God is in control for the closing on that house, because that's major. That's a major milestone. So we can throw some hearts up in here because, yeah. People like to go and congratulate folks on cars and stuff like that. You ain't doing that until you got some real estate, baby. Hey, Sunshine. Hey, Keisha. You ain't doing nothing till you got some real estate. Get some real estate under your belt. You heard me? As long as you got real estate, you will never be broke. Know that. Know that. So, let's see. Where am I going to start at? Let's start right here. All right. So I told you guys before that bought my first house at 23. Now I rent it out onto my second. That's right, Nancy. That's what I'm telling you. Nothing like that real estate. Thank you, Keisha, girl. You know I had to throw a little something up in here, a little razzle dazzle. You know, a little razzle dazzle. Did something the other day and the hair wasn't long enough, so I had to go back and change some things up. You know, you got to flip the script a little bit. If it ain't working, you got to modify. You know what it is. Hey, Latoya, how you doing? How you doing? So I told you guys previously that's right, Keisha. I told you guys previously that I had been dealing with Hashimoto's disease as early as 2005. I'm pretty sure it was before that, but that's when it really became a problem for me. And so I started, it felt like I was having a panic attack, like I was having trouble breathing. It felt like somebody had their hands around my throat, like they were just choking me around the throat, and I was having trouble breathing. I was on the way to a basketball game. And I had to turn around because I didn't know what was going on. I was just having trouble breathing, and my heart started beating real fast. I didn't know if I was having a heart attack, having a stroke. I didn't know what was going on. So I had several pap smears done like previous years, and I always had my nurse practitioner or either the RN, she would say, you need to get your thyroid checked because my neck was swollen. And I told you guys before, like, I started lifting weights in the 8th grade. So I've been lifting weights since the 8th grade. So my neck, was like naturally swollen. I had a thick neck anyway. But no, it wasn't just from the weightlifting. So I finally went and to the doctor to have some tests done. And you know, they check your TSH, they check your T3, T4, all this other stuff. And my tests were coming back. Well, let me take that back. Initially, they just checked my TSH and everything looked fine. And the next time I went back to see the nurse practitioner, she was like, no, something is wrong. What all did they check? And I said, well, they checked my TSH and my TSH was fine. She said, well, no, tell them to run a 3/4, T3, T4. So anyway, I went back and the nurse actually called up there and told the doctor, told the lab what test they needed to run. So whenever they ran the test, I was scheduled for emergency surgery the very next day. Hey, Gospel Glam, how you doing? They scheduled me for emergency surgery the very next day. And what was happening is my thyroid was to the point where it was, you could say crushing, but I wouldn't say crushing so much, but it was like it was pressing so hard against my larynx that I was starting to have trouble speaking. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but every now and again you'll hear some raspiness in my voice, and it's been coming back a lot recently. So, had the surgery in September of 2005. And the reason why I had to have the surgery because that feeling was a goiter. Now, with hyperthyroidism, you see people have a goiter and you may see this big thing on their neck sticking out. That's not what I had. I had something that was going this way, so it made my neck just look really wide, but this thing was pressing against my larynx. So when I was at the doctor's office that day, talked to the doctor, he was telling me all the stuff I was going to have to get done. And hold up one second. I got to sneeze and everything at the same time. Excuse me. Sorry. But he told me that he was going to have to do a total thyroidectomy, get this thing out like ASAP before I had any more problems because it was affecting my breathing. And so I had to come back the next day. I had to be there at 7 o'clock for surgery. I go in under the impression that I'm having a total thyroidectomy because that's what I'm told is being done. Go through the surgery. I'm in the hospital for a couple days. I don't know what's going on. I wake up. I'm thinking I'm dead. I'm trying to talk to everybody. I don't have any sound. Like I'm thinking that I'm saying stuff, but when I try to get the words to come out, words won't come out. It was crazy. I couldn't lift my head because I didn't know how extensive that surgery was going to be. He didn't go into that much detail about it. So, and keep in mind, this is 15 years ago now. So, get out the hospital, and I go home, and I'm staying by myself at that time. And I go home, and the next few days after the surgery, they told me it was going to be some pain, but I was like, I had excruciating pain. Like, I can't even explain to you what that pain was like. I couldn't move. I couldn't do anything. My little brother, the one that was on the phone, like, he had to help assist me, like, getting ready, like, day to day. Couldn't put regular clothes on. All I could do is wear, like, wife beaters, because So anyway, I'm calling the doctor, and I'm like, something is wrong. I don't think I'm supposed to be hurting like this. And it was like a lot of my bodily functions, they weren't doing what they were supposed to be doing. So I go back to the doctor for a checkup, and he has me waiting, and I had called in and telling him stuff that was going on. And the nurse lets me hold my folder while I wait for the doctor. Well, of course, I'm going to read my chart. I'm going to see, I'm looking at my codes and everything. And I see in the chart that the doctor says that I am malingering, right? So for those of you that don't know what malingering is, basically the doctor's saying that you full of bull. Ain't nothing wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just making all this stuff up. Like you got Munchausen syndrome or something. You just looking up stuff. So anyway, long story short, I also see in there that it doesn't say total, it has subtotal. And I'm like, wait a minute. So when I go and talk to the doctor, first he's a little pissed because I looked at the folder. He'll be all right. But I'm like, why do you have that I'm malingering in my folder? He's like, no, that's not in there. I'm like, bruh, open it up to that yellow page right there. You wrote a note in there that I was malingering. Okay, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Okay, and then the second thing, I'm like, why does it say that I had a subtotal thyroidectomy? When I went down, you told me you were doing a total. So what happened was, like I said, I went under the knife, thinking that I was getting a total thyroidectomy, getting this mess out because it was affecting so much stuff. Woke up, it's about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks later. I got all kind of mess going on. Come to find out, this man did not do a total thyroidectomy. He decided in the middle of my surgery that he was going to do a subtotal and only take half of it out, because he's saying that he doesn't want me to be on thyroid medicine for the rest of my life because I was so young, right? This is a decision he made on his own. The paperwork that I signed said total thyroidectomy. So I let him talk or whatever. And I'm just sitting here like, y'all gonna give me a copy of that paperwork, because they didn't give me any kind of paperwork other than the paperwork that I signed before I had the surgery done. So I left there that day. I came back. And I came back to get a copy of my billing paperwork. So when I asked the receptionist for a copy of my billing paperwork, and I came to sign my release and all that stuff, she was like, we can't give that to you right now. I'm like, nah, you gonna give me my paperwork. At this point, I worked at mental health, and I worked with that doctor's office a lot. They send a lot of clients to me for assessments and stuff. So I'm like asking for the office manager. Like, we're not playing this game today, because y'all they billed for a total thyroidectomy. But they didn't do a total thyroidectomy. They billed for a total, and they only did a subtotal. So they sure did. They sure did charge. They charged the insurance company for a full total thyroidectomy. So the office manager comes, and she's like, oh, okay, we're talking or whatever. And she was like, here, I get your stuff. So she goes and gets the stuff for me or whatever. And she looks at the chart. She was like, oh, did anybody call you? And I'm like, no. She was like, well, Dr. Such and Such was supposed to call you. I'm like, nah. And I ain't waiting, because I don't have an appointment today. I came to get some paperwork. And she was like, no, you really need to talk to him today. So He comes out and he has this look on his face. Now I'm thinking that he's embarrassed because he sees that I see that he charged me for something that he billed illegally for something that he did not do. You know what I'm saying? So I'm watching, I'm looking at these ICD codes. Bro, you can't play with me with these codes. You're not going to tell me it's the same thing. We're not doing that. Get in the office. We start talking. And he's like, I don't know. I am so sorry. I'm like, you're sorry about what? Because I'm not the one that you need to have a conversation with. You need to have a conversation with the insurance company. Because I haven't paid for the stuff yet, whatever I'm supposed to pay for. Now, you talking about over $15,000 for that surgery. Over $15,000. Okay? So, because I told you guys part of the story. I didn't go into detail about the story. So, this man tells me, now I need y'all to understand that from behind this ear to behind this ear, my neck was slit all the way open, all the way around. And that's why you guys see this thing here. From behind both my ears, all the way around. I had about maybe 15, 20 staples in my neck whenever they finished. So, what this man tells me at this particular time is that after they did the biopsy of the piece that they took out, they found out that I didn't just have like hypothyroidism. They found out I had Hashimoto's thyroidism. So what happened was they went and they closed me back up and left a diseased thyroid, piece of a diseased thyroid, half of a diseased thyroid in my neck. Now, my option is to let him go back in and cut on me again, which is not happening. Because I don't know if any of y'all ever had your neck cut open. I mean open, head back, open. The other thing was, well, it's Hashimoto's, you know, it's going to burn out eventually. So we're going to put you on medication. Don't worry about it. So in September 2005, I got put on this thyroid medication. I did not let him cut me back open. You done left this disease thing up in here. And now he's understanding why I was feeling so bad and why I was so sick. So for those of you that don't know what Hashimoto's thyroid disease is, this is an autoimmune disease, almost as like, I hate this, almost like a person has HIV. So your immune system is constantly attacking your thyroid. It thinks it's a foreign body, like it's not supposed to be there. So it's on constant attack. So it affects everything. So I'm going to just go over this real quick so people can understand what I'm talking about. So you got this little butterfly little thing in your neck. It's like a little butterfly that sits up there. Understand that your thyroid, even though it's this small, it's like one of the main powerhouses in your body because it basically regulates everything in your body. Your metabolism, your digestive system, your immune system. Like it plays a major part in everything. And if it is not functioning properly, it throws everything off. Everything. So, so just a little education real quick so y'all can see why I'm a little, Okay, initially inflammation of the thyroid causes a leak resulting in excess thyroid hormone. That's hyperthyroidism. So when you see the people that have like the bulging eyes and stuff like that, and different things that are associated with it, that's hyper. What happens with hypo is you have a decrease. You don't have enough. One thing, you got excess. Now you don't have enough of that thyroid hormone. So it causes weight gain. It's like the opposite for hyper. They lose weight, hypo, you gain weight. It's a lot of stuff that goes on. But just to be really quick about it, I'm just give y'all just some short, some of the symptoms. Dry skin, roughness. Thank you, Tawana. Hair loss, dryness, constipation, depression, enlarged thyroid, fatigue, joint stiffness, muscle weakness, puffy eyes, sensitivity to cold, slow heart rate, swelling in the extremities, weight gain. Hey, James. So this is what I want y'all to see right now. I don't know if you guys have been noticing the puffiness in my face, right? And I'm sitting up here. I literally do 5 miles a day. I eat good. And I'm sitting up here and I'm like, there's no way me doing this little stuff, you know, it's got me doing. And I know that you guys noticed a couple videos. I'm looking, I'm like, God, well, my neck is swollen. Why is my neck swollen again, right? So I'm sitting here and I'm like, so I'm talking to my sister, you know, she's a nurse practitioner. I'm like, she was like, yeah, it is a little swollen. But I really looked at one of my pictures and I'm like, yo, this mess is swollen. This shouldn't happen. 15 years, that thyroid should be burned out by now, right? So I contact, supposed to be this big endocrinologist in Atlanta. And I go and see the endocrinologist about a week and a half ago. Set me up for some tests. I go and get some tests done. I had to, I got an MRI done Friday. Yeah, I got an MRI done Friday on my thyroid. Here's where the problem comes in at. This is where the problem comes in at. I'm going to put you on pause 1 second. Sorry, guys. So, I go and get the MRI done Friday. And the young lady that's doing the MRI says, I thought you had said you had your thyroid removed. Sweet Escape, hey, how you doing? Did y'all hear what I just said? This woman says, I thought you said that you had your thyroid removed. Now, I know good and well that all of y'all see the remnants of this cut under my neck. So here we go. I have been having trouble, and I don't know if you guys ever notice when I'm doing my talking, sometimes I'm doing this because I almost feel like I'm getting anxious. And I told you guys about some stuff with anxiety and stuff like that. So now I got to put my clinical hat on because no, I'm not anxious about anything. This same thing that y'all charge me $15,000. That just 15. That wasn't including the hospital stay because I had to stay for a couple days. Okay. So you charge me this stuff. I'm having to go through all this stuff. And when I tell y'all I put in work to try to stay in shape, anybody that knows me knows I put in work. That's why I even do all the dancing and stuff like that. Yeah, I like having fun, but I do it because I'm burning calories. So it just all falls in line. So you ask me, right, Keisha? Right. So you ask me, or you say to me, I thought you said that they took your thyroid out. And I say they did. And I said, well, they told me they were going to do a total. And then I found out after the fact that they did a subtotal. So, and the girl says, something's wrong. There's a piece here and a piece here. And there's thyroid tissue here and thyroid tissue. Like, what did they do? What kind of cut? What did they do? And I'm laying on this table getting, yeah. 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 So she finished doing the MRI, getting all the sides and all this stuff. And she was like, you know what? And she said, go ahead. And, she got the little stuff off my neck, had me wipe down and stuff. And she said, you need to go talk to a lawyer. And I'm like, what? And she was like, just lay back down for a minute. So she goes back and does it again, but she does it so I can turn around and look at the machine. So not only did he leave a partial diseased thyroid in my neck, he left like 98% of a diseased thyroid in my neck. So you're treating me for this thing like I have no thyroid. You got me taking this medicine that I don't need to be taking. I actually need to be taking something else. Now, I need y'all to understand, I've always had hair. Don't get me wrong. Still have hair. But if you know anything about this stuff, it makes your hair texture starts changing and it gets real brittle. So this is why I keep my hair up, because the less that I have to comb it, the less breaks off. So I can still keep my hair and keep my length as long as I keep it in some type of protective style. Skin stuff, having to deal with ongoing eczema and different things of that sort. I'm having to deal with all of this stuff because this stuff is still in here. So I'm looking. So that was Friday. That was this past Friday. So they posted my results so I can go into the patient portal of the endocrinologist's office. And I open it up. And I need y'all to hear when I say this. That thing said on the left side, I had a normal size thyroid. Small, but normal functioning. Well, not normal functioning, but normal size. And on the right side, I had a normal thyroid. All the signs of Hashimoto's, you can see the matter all on the MRI. But I still got a butterfly, and all you did was like clip his wings and like clip pieces out of the wing and just got my mess all chopped and screwed. Do you hear? Chopped and screwed. Now you see why I ain't got time to be worried with nobody mess. That's why I ain't trying to play with nobody right now. Mm-mm. 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 So what I get told is, well, they're going to have to go and see what they got to give you for Hashimoto's. No, they don't have to give me, because that man knew I had Hashimoto's when I left that office that day. Now, through the years, the medication has been going up and up and up and up. And through the years, I continuously had problems. No, I'm not going to let those people cut on me again. None of them. Unless it's absolutely positively, like, it has to be the last option. It has to be the very last option. Because if you have, and I know you don't have a lot of people that's going to say they had their throat slit open. I literally had my throat slit open. The whole thing. When I tell you my head was back this way and it was separated from my body, I was wide open. So, in the last month total, and that's why when I got on the scale and I was doing this thing with you guys, and that's why I was like, wait a minute. Like, literally, in the last month, almost a month, I have gained 15 pounds. Yeah. Now, had I not been busting these 5 miles, there's no telling where I would be. If I would just go and eat everything that I want to eat every day, there's no telling where I would be. But these people, so I had to go back Saturday and I got some more tests done. I had to get some, I got the MRI done Tuesday. I'm sorry, I was all wrong. Had that done Tuesday. I had to go back Friday and get some more blood work done. So I had like 7 tests I had to do on Friday. So here we are. Here we are. Now I see somebody in here talking about their thyroid. So let me give you some information really quick. And then I'll get back on this this whole debacle. So just to show y'all this, that's the thyroid, right? So basically they just cut a couple pieces off the top, but they put holes all the way through it. It had holes. Now I don't have any nodules. I don't have any type of cancerous tumors or anything like that. No, it's nothing like that. This was literally a botched surgery. Completely botched. A surgery that took me over a year. Shoot, even years for me to get feeling back in my neck. And even where the actual line is, I don't feel a darn thing there. It's just numb. Just numb. So really quick, for the person that was saying something about being scared. Hashimoto's disease is a condition in which your immune system attacks your thyroid. Just like I was saying, 703 Classy, I'm giving this information to you and anybody else that may be interested. It's a disease. It's a condition that attacks your immune system. I'm sorry, where your immune system attacks your thyroid. Y'all see this thing got me 500. Ugh. A small gland at the base of your neck below your Adam's apple. The thyroid gland is a part of your endocrine system which produces hormones that coordinate many of your body's functions. All right? So inflammation from Hashimoto's disease, also known as chronic lymphatic thyroiditis, often leads to an underactive thyroid gland. So you're talking about 2 different things. So you can have hypothyroidism and not have Hashimoto's. You can have Hashimoto's and at that time not have hypothyroidism because it hasn't gotten to the point to where your thyroid is underactive. Symptoms. You might not notice any signs of symptoms at first, or you may notice a swelling at the front of your throat, a goiter, which people usually have here. Like I said, mine was growing this way. It wasn't coming this way. It was growing this way. Hashimoto's disease typically progresses slowly over years and causes chronic thyroid damage, leading to a drop in thyroid hormone levels in your blood. The signs and symptoms are mainly those of an underactive thyroid, like hypothyroidism. So the signs and symptoms include, I went over a few things before. Let me just go over this list right now. Some of the signs and symptoms of hypothyroidism include fatigue and sluggishness, increased sensitivity to cold. This is something that people don't understand when y'all see me sitting on my porch or sitting wherever and I got my blanket wrapped around me, because you have an intolerance. It's an unimaginable tolerance. Like, people that don't have that tolerance don't understand why you're that cold. Like, they don't understand. It's like, it's 75 degrees in here. You can't possibly be cold, because they don't understand what this stuff is doing to your body, right? So constipation, yes, because when I tell you this thing controls your metabolism and all this stuff has to do with all of your bodily functions, then you're not going to the bathroom the way that you need to go to the bathroom. You're not having those bowel movements because it slows your digestive system down. Constipation leads to what? Bloating. Here's where some of this weight gain is coming in at. Pale, dry skin. A puffy face. Brittle nails. Hair loss. This is the reason why when I showed you guys all my vitamins, you saw that I had that biotin. I got biotin for days, okay? I take fiber. I take B12 to get some energy, because even with that Synthroid or levothyroxine, whichever one that you are taking, it still does not for me, because I'm dealing with both. So it doesn't give me energy. So I have to take extra for the energy. And that's what I was telling you guys about the Coke Zero. It's the closest thing that I can get. It doesn't have all the sugar, so I'm down on all this sugar, but it can still give me energy. So I have to try to self-medicate as much as I can. This is what this stuff is all about, trying to weigh the less of two evils. Because either you go and try to do stuff your way, or go back to these people and let them cut on you again. And now you got a whole other problem, because they already messed up stuff from the beginning. All right. Enlargement of the tongue. Unexplained weight gain. Muscle aches. Tenderness. Stiffness. Joint pain and stiffness. Muscle weakness. Excessive or prolonged menstrual bleeding. Depression. Memory lapses. Y'all don't even want to have these conversations. Because if I showed you my sticky notes that were all over the place, you'd probably think I was crazy. If you ever seen Being Mary Jane when she got those sticky notes all over the place, come to my house. Come to my house. Went to see a doctor. If you develop these signs and symptoms, you need to see the doctor. Tiredness for no apparent reason. Yeah. Dry skin. Pale or puffy face, constipation. You also need to see a doctor for periodic testing of your thyroid function if you have had thyroid surgery before. You've had treatment with radioactive iodine or anti-thyroid medications. You have had radiation therapy to your head, neck, or chest. If you have high cholesterol, talk to your doctor. You got all this stuff. Now, causes. Hashimoto's is an autoimmune disease in which your immune system creates antibodies that damage your thyroid gland. Doctors don't know what causes your immune system to attack your thyroid. They think it's some type of virus or bacteria that might trigger it. They don't know. Okay? They don't know. But I'm telling you that the risk factors are higher in women. You don't see too many men walking around with goiter. They do have them now, but you don't see too many men walking around with goiters or having Hashimoto's thyroidism. But some men do have them, and it can run in the family. Having some other type of autoimmune disease like lupus or rheumatoid arthritis or diabetes or whatever, that could be I would say like a gateway to Hashimoto's. But understand, and this is the thing I really need y'all to understand. Really, if you have hypothyroidism, I'm not going to speak on hyper because I can tell you what the books say about it, but I can't tell you what that experience feels like because I haven't had that experience. But I can tell you for hypothyroidism and for Hashimoto's disease, if you have the questionnaire going around at your job, where it's saying, are you susceptible to certain things? I need you to realize that Hashimoto's disease is an autoimmune disease. So that makes you more susceptible to this COVID-19. So you need to be careful. So when you see me loading up on that vitamin C, I'm not doing it just because the gummies taste good. I'm doing it to protect myself. And thank God I had some type of just epiphany that said, girl, you need to be doing this, this, and this, because the doctors didn't make sure, or that doctor didn't make sure that things were taken care of. The only thing that was happening is that as years went on, that medicine just kept going higher and higher. And for those of you that have to take the medicine, then it's not measured in milligrams, it's measured in micrograms. So at this point, I know myself, I'm on 112, but I started from the bottom because I wasn't supposed to take it in the first place based on what I was told, until the doctor decided to play God and make his own decision. So if left untreated, if you have an underactive thyroid that is caused by Hashimoto's disease, it can lead to a number of health problems. And so this is what I'm telling you. I'm pretty sure I had it for a while. It just got to that point where that goiter, which is the next thing I'm going to talk about, got so big that it started suppressing stuff. And I just couldn't. It was feeling like I was having a 5-day panic attack that wouldn't go away, and somebody was just squeezing and squeezing, almost like I had an elephant standing on my neck. So the goiter, one of the things that can happen is you can develop the goiter. This is one of the most common signs of hypothyroidism. Depending on how big they get, they may not be uncomfortable. Some people have them, they walk around with them, never have a problem with them. But a large goiter can affect your appearance and may interfere with swallowing or breathing. Absolutely. Absolutely. It can lead to heart problems. Hashimoto's may also be associated with an increased risk of heart disease, primarily because high levels of LDL, which is considered that bad cholesterol, can occur in people with an underactive thyroid. If left untreated, hypothyroidism can lead to an enlarged heart and possibly heart failure. So don't let nobody tell you that this thyroid stuff is something like just minimal, because it's not. For some people, they may not have major issues with it because it's not that deep for them. But you need to make sure you got your meds checked out. Mental health issues. Depression may occur early in Hashimoto's disease and may become more severe over time. Hashimoto's disease can also cause sexual desire decrease. That's real. It affects your libido. It affects your libido, and it can decrease your sex drive and lead to slow mental functioning. Mixed edema. This is a life-threatening condition that can develop due to long-term severe hypothyroidism as a result of untreated Hashimoto's disease. Its signs and symptoms include drowsiness followed by a prolonged lethargy and unconsciousness. I won't even get into that. Can be triggered by exposure to cold, sedatives, infection, or other stress on the body. This requires immediate medical attention, emergency medical attention. Can also lead to birth defects. Babies born to women with untreated hypothyroidism due to Hashimoto's may have a higher risk of birth defects than do babies born to healthy mothers. These babies are more prone to intellectual and developmental problems. There also may be a link between hypothyroid pregnancies and birth defects, such as a palate. A connection also exists between hypothyroid pregnancies and heart, brain, and kidney problems in infants. So this is something that you need to know if you are planning on getting pregnant. So I just wanted to put that information out there really quick. So what they do to diagnose, if you're feeling like extremely sluggish, for me, and I'm just sharing this stuff with y'all. This is my story. This may not be the same for everybody else. I'm just telling you because I had the classic case of Hashimoto's thyroidism, and I still got this mess up in here. It's still there. It is still there. So your doctor may test for Hashimoto's if you're feeling increasingly tired or sluggish, have dry skin, constipation, a hoarse voice, or have had previous thyroid problems or a goiter. They'll do a hormone test. They'll do an antibody test. The TSH level that I was telling you about, that's the hormone test. They're testing your how much of that thyroid that you have, that thyroid hormone that you have in your blood. They do the antibody test. This is a TPO test. It's blood work. They do blood work 703. It's a lot of blood work. So like I said, I had to fill up. It was either 7 or 8 vials last week. So and this, even with that, y'all, just everything, they had to test for all this stuff. You have to fast. So I didn't go. My appointment wasn't until 11, right? I had to fast from the night before. And then come to find out, one of the tests, because one of the tests that the doctor ran, the endocrinologist ran, was a cortisol test. Well, that test is a morning test. So the results are supposed to be between 8 and 10. Okay, my appointment is at 11. So I get there and they're telling me, well, no, you're not going to be able to take the test. The devil is a liar. You're going to have to come back tomorrow and do that. The devil is a liar. Okay, because I'm pretty sure at this point, that Val don't know the difference between 10, 10:30, and 11. Y'all going to get this blood today. Okay. Hey, Biff the Kid, how you doing? So they did all that. I don't have the results back from any of that stuff yet. I only got the results back from the MRI that was done. So the treatments that they consider: if Hashimoto's disease causes thyroid hormone deficiency, you may need replacement therapy with thyroid hormone, which is what I take. This usually involves daily use of a synthetic thyroid hormone, levothyroxine, Levoxyl, Synthroid, and then there's other type of medications and that you can take. Synthetic levothyroxine is identical to thyroxine, the natural version of this made by your thyroid gland. The oral medication restores adequate hormone levels and reverses all the symptoms of hypothyroidism. No, it does not. No, it does not. But again, let me say, my case is a little bit different. So it could work for other people the way that it's supposed to, but for me, no. To determine the right dosage of levothyroxine, initially your doctor generally checks your level of TSH after 8 to 6 weeks of treatment, and again after any dose changes. Once the dose that normalizes your thyroid test is determined, your doctor is likely to check your TSH level about every 12 months, as the dosage you may need may change. Excessive amounts of thyroid hormone can accelerate bone loss, which may lead to osteoporosis. So because of that, I take a calcium vitamin. Okay. Overtreatment with levothyroxine can also cause heart rhythm disorders or arrhythmias. If you have coronary artery disease or severe hypothyroidism, your doctor may start treatment with a smaller amount of medication and gradually increase the dosage. Progressive hormone replacement allows your heart to adjust to the increase in metabolism. So this is what I'm trying to get y'all to see, that this thing affects everything. Don't let anybody think that tell you that it's just something in your throat that doesn't do anything. It affects everything, even to slowing down your thinking, have you walking around like you're in a fog. So if you're feeling that way, you need to go get your meds checked out, especially if you're a female. Certain medications, supplements, and some food may affect your ability to absorb levothyroxine. However, taking levothyroxine 4 hours before or after other medications could remedy the problem. Talk to your doctor. If you eat large amounts of soy products or a high-fiber diet, or if you take the following: iron supplements, blood cholesterol medicines, aluminum hydroxide, antacids, ulcer medication, calcium supplements. Anyway, it's just a lot of stuff that you need to consider whenever you're dealing with this stuff. But for me, I felt like I needed to come on here today because I'm like, listen, I don't know what these people are going to tell me. I'm supposed to see the doctor again on the 10th. I don't know. I'll check tomorrow to see if they got my results back. And then I'll know if I actually have that appointment on the 10th. But if you feel like something is not right in your body, you need to go get checked out. So I'm telling you, like I said, my stuff may be more on the extreme side, but like regular stuff that people can take, like taking NyQuil or, you know, I had trouble with my sinuses and stuff. Like certain things I can't take if it makes you drowsy. What is the name? I can't even think of the stuff for allergies, and it puts you to sleep too. Like that stuff, it stays on me for a couple of days. Like some people are sleeping off and be up and popping the next day. It stays on me for a couple of days. So I can't mess with that stuff. So and even the coffee and stuff like that, I have to be strategic. Benadryl, thank you, Keisha. With the caffeine, and people they'll say, well, take such and such and take this and take that, and they don't realize that there are certain things that even though it works for them, you can't mess with it because you don't know how your body is going to respond to it. Even down to dairy, gluten, like it's a lot of different things. You don't know how your body is going to respond to it. And I can tell you, for me, and I'm sitting right here and I can see the swelling. And for hypothyroidism, most of the swelling comes from salt and water weight. It's not that you're just gaining weight because you're eating a lot. It's salt and water weight. So you can usually see that in your hands. You see it in your feet. You see it in your legs. Like my fingers and my toes swell up like I'm pregnant. When I go walking, they swell up like I'm pregnant. And I have to come, and that's why I stay in the bathtub trying to... So you have to make sure that you are taking care of yourself. For me, like I said, these people got me in a bad way right now because when I have to go through this stuff and deal with this stuff, and you like literally, you slice my neck open and you're sitting there chopping and screwing, and you didn't even take half of this thing out. And I had called the insurance company some years ago. I called, I had Federal Blue Cross and Blue Shield. I called them years ago. And I'm like, listen, actually, did I have Federal Estate then? No, I had Federal. I had Federal Blue Cross and Blue Shield then. And I called them and I'm like, look, because they have this thing if you want to report insurance fraud. So I'm like, so these people charged me for this. And this is what they actually did. And the girl was like, well, yeah, there's no difference. I'm like, oh, yeah, it is. These ICD codes are completely different. And the prices, you talking about thousands of dollars off. You see what I'm saying? I guess she didn't think it was important. So I left it alone. And that wasn't even to my benefit for me to go after the doctor. That was for them to know, look, y'all just got hustled out of some money. Y'all might need to go back and check this dude records and make sure it matches billing stuff up and see if what he's billing for is what he's actually doing. Y'all need to go check those clinical notes and see. Go check his surgical notes and see if he did what he actually said he did when he's sending this billing to y'all. Because, I mean, that's fraudulent activity. she wasn't concerned. She sound young. She was like, basically like, it's not my money. So what I'm going to have to do now, I'm going to wait until I get all the results back from that doctor, and then I have to go and talk to another doctor because I'm taking this stuff thinking that I'm having some anxiety, only to find out this thing is still here and it's still pressing. It's still pressing. So and that's why the raspiness comes in. So once I talk to the doctor and see whatever he says, from there, then then I go and talk to an attorney from there. So I have two attorneys, but I don't know that they deal with malpractice stuff. So that's another conversation that we're going to end up having. Hopefully, God willing, I will not have to have another surgical procedure, because that is not what I'm planning on doing. That's not what I'm planning on doing. That's just where I'm at right now. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So, yeah. But we'll still keep a smile on and keep doing what we do. But in the meantime, I keep you guys posted on what's going on with this. And I can tell you that I had to hunker down, understanding just from what happened this weekend when I got those test results back, saying that I still had this thing. So I had to hunker down and just, I got to do what I got to do to try to just maintain the weight part and this puffiness. So probably over the next week, maybe week or two, then y'all will see my face going down. But all this puffiness that's up in here, that stuff will start disappearing, because I don't have a puffy face. I don't I don't have a puffy face, but everything just gets puffy. Everything gets puffy, you know. Everything is puffy. So I keep you guys posted on what's going on with that. If y'all want to know, if y'all don't want to hear about that stuff, then let me know and I keep it to myself. But if it's something that y'all don't mind me keeping you updated on, then I definitely let y'all know what's going on with that. So, okay, 703. But after dealing with the stuff with my brother this year, and him finding out that he had lung cancer and it taking him away, and the corona stuff, and I shared with some guys the other night, and I don't know if anybody picked up on what I said, but before this stuff happened, I had been diagnosed with ovarian cancer. And I had all these surgeries prior to that. So that's why you don't see no little babies running around here. And I said then I wasn't having any more procedures done. After the stuff, anyway, I didn't have a choice with this one. But after the stuff happened with my brother, and I saw, you know, I always try to take care of myself now, but just seeing how fast, Keisha, you know, I'll text you, I'll call you. Seeing how fast that stuff happened, and I thank God for sparing me, because I didn't have to do any type of treatments or anything. I got cut on top of cut on top of cut on top of cut, but I didn't have to do any treatments. So just being able to make it out that far and seeing how he went through his fire, I got to stay on top of my stuff. I got to stay on top of it, because I just got to stay on top of it. And seeing what happened with Chadwick on my birthday, that put a bit more urgency behind me, and making me really go and talk to these doctors and see what's going on, because I knew something was wrong. I just couldn't put my finger on it. I could not put my finger on it, but I knew something wasn't right. I knew I wasn't feeling right. I knew something wasn't right, but never did I think. I thought I had a little piece in here, the piece that he said was going to die out, that never died out. And I'm thinking, did it not die out because you had me taking this? You know what? Lord have mercy. But now that we know what it is, then maybe we can get a better grip on it or whatever and try to tackle this thing like head first and see what happens from there. The money is not so much a concern for me now, because money does you no good if you're not healthy enough to enjoy it. And as far as the money goes, I mean, like I'm blessed. I'm all right. I'm all right. But I need for this body to be all right. That's what I'm saying. I need for this thing right here to be all right. Cause that's where everything starts. So that's where it starts and ends, actually. That's where it starts and ends. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. I know this wasn't a shout and, you know, all drama to Zai's like video or whatever. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to give you guys this information right now because it's critical to me at this particular point. And we can walk around and look as nice as we want to on the outside. But if you don't have things right on the inside, So I'm going to get off here. Do y'all have any questions for me before I get off here? If y'all have any questions, I would answer your questions. Thank you, James. Thank you. I had to sign something at my job so that I wouldn't be forced to go in a place that I'm not supposed to go in or be around folks that I'm not supposed to be around. So I'm still waiting back on that. But I did start my telework on Friday as well, at least for a couple days, to try to accommodate some of this stuff. But still, at the same time, y'all, you got to be careful. You got to be careful. If your immune system is compromised, it's just that. I mean, something can penetrate just that quick. So you got to make sure that you protect yourself. Can you please call me to help me better understand my results? Because I told my husband I have no understanding as to what and how the doctor explains this to me. I tell her just that, and she says, well, this is how I best can tell you. 703 class. So the first thing I would suggest is to go on Google, and I don't know like what your results were, whether or not they're saying that you're hypo, Hashimoto's, have Crohn. Like, I don't know like exactly what they're saying, but I would say Google first. I would say Google first. Partner, when it comes to this doctor that I'm dealing with, I can tell you, although I'm not a medical doctor, that he respects my gangster. So he know I'm not playing with this. So that's why he ordered those tests like ASAP. And he's actually willing, like, well, it's already done because the MRI showed that I still have a normal, small thyroid on both sides. So it's going to start from here. It's going to start from here, and we're going to see what happens. I'm just hoping in the meantime that we get this stuff in check, so I won't be sitting around here with a bag full of vitamins, walking around like I'm selling some drugs or something out of bag. Because best believe I got a bag full of vitamins and a bag full of medicine. So, I don't understand it. I'm confused about it all. 703, you can email me at Carolina Epiphany 843 at gmail.com. Carolina Epiphany, all together. Let me write it out, child. Yeah, I mean, like literally, I'm having trouble breathing right now. I feel like something's clamped around my throat. So, yeah, y'all get that stuff together, man. I don't know if you can see that. Carolina Epiphany 843 at gmail.com. I can't write it in the chat right now, so I'm doing it the ghetto way. I'm sorry. But that's what it is. Carolina Epiphany 843 at gmail.com. Oh, military. 703 military. Okay. So you have my number. Okay. All right. I know you're strong in faith, but you are not alone, and I stand in agreement with you. Thank you. Stand up and be counted. I'm just putting a whole "and" in your name. Stand up, be counted. I appreciate that. Oh, it's definitely gonna work out, Parnell. I promise you. He did. He just had another heart attack, and his numbers are declining. Wow. Ugh. "703, you and your family are in my prayers." So, I gave you guys this information just for you to be informed. Listen, I don't want nobody feeling sorry for me because I'm good. I'm good. And as soon as I get off here, I'm going to watch the end. Shoot, I missed that. I guess I have to. I'm going to watch the haves and the have-nots, and I'm going to keep it pushing. And whenever that finishes, I'm going to cut the music on, and I'm going to be dancing all up and through here until somebody tell me I need to go sit my tail down somewhere. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm just saying. So, appreciate you guys for sitting in and letting me share this with you. Hopefully somebody got something out of it. And again, if you even think that there's something going on, or if you're experiencing any of these things, you're sluggish, you're just gaining weight from out of nowhere, and you're not doing anything in particular to try to gain weight. Right, Tirana? I'm missing it right now, so I got to go and get on. So just any of those things, if you're having any of those side effects, go and get checked out. If your hair has become brittle all of a sudden, or your hair texture has changed, I know I started noticing some like thinning in my crown. And I started putting tea tree oil on it, and it helped it a lot, but still my just usually does not do that. So, you know, just do whatever you need to do to stay healthy. Go get yourself checked out. You know what I'm saying? None of us are getting any younger. Even though we like to think that we are getting younger, none of us are getting any younger. So make sure that you go and get yourself checked out. Okay? That's what you need to do. And the more I'm sitting here talking to y'all, I am seeing this thing on my neck. So I got to get out of here because this is bothering me. Look at that. If I was a cussing woman, that's all I'm going to say. If I was a cussing woman, that's all I'm going to say. Thank you, Tirana. Listen, they better be glad I know how to put some crochets in my head. Because if I didn't, and I had to walk around here with my hair all over my head because y'all ain't do what y'all was supposed to do, it'd be some smoke in the city. You hear what I'm talking about? It'd be some smoke in the mother flipping city. Darn it. Curse for me, Karen, please. Please curse for me. Biff the Kid, cuss for me. I'm telling y'all. Don't curse, cuss for me. I need y'all to cuss somebody out for me. If I saw that doctor, his name Dr. Blum, if I saw him right now, I'd probably cuss him out. No, I would curse him out. But he would get that work. You hear me? He would get that work. He would get that work. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Be offense. Anyway, let me get off here and go do something. Go be productive somewhere. Shoot. I might go home just to cuss him out. Thank you, Nisimo. Thank you. Because this ain't the business. This ain't the business, y'all. I'm telling you, I got my eyebrows thin and everything. I'm telling you, this ain't the business. This ain't the business. You better hope on. Let me not say that, for they say I threatened somebody, Jesus. Let me not do that. I'm going to come and have a talk with you, mister. I'm going to come and have a talk with you. We're going to have a talk. And I'm going to bring you these pictures that I got from this MRI. Because it's like just a bunch of stuff just floating around in the middle of nowhere. Man, let me go before I get fired up again. I'm going to get fired up again. Thank you, Biff the Kid. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. Just go and handle your business. Get yourself checked out. Do whatever you need to do. But make sure you are good. And don't let these people do you like they did me. But I'm telling you, I'm about to do them. Okay? And that's all I got to say about that. And that buffale. At such a time as this. Y'all have a good one. Bye.